They don't need to know your name. They don't need to hear you speak. All it takes is for you to enter a room, and everything shifts. People get quiet. They look at you, then look away. Some smile fake smiles, others leave the room. Why? Because your presence carries power they can't explain. You've been wondering why people keep their distance, why some family members secretly envy you, why coworkers sabotage you without reason, why even strangers give you weird looks or feel uneasy around you. It's because you're not like them. You're chosen, and they can feel it. You're not intimidating because you're loud or aggressive. You're intimidating because of the light you carry, the authority you wear, and the calling you haven't even fully stepped into yet. They don't fear what you are. They fear what you're becoming, and deep down, so should they. You don't have to open your mouth. You don't have to perform miracles. Just being present is enough to cause spiritual tension. Why? Because your spirit doesn't walk alone. When you walk into a room, you carry the presence of the Almighty. You carry a vibration that exposes darkness, even without speaking. The atmosphere changes because light has entered, and darkness is always uncomfortable around light. You've probably noticed it for years. People act strange around you. They feel uneasy. They avoid eye contact, or they randomly become hostile. You didn't understand it back then, but now you do. You're not like the rest. You are marked, chosen, and heavily guarded by a realm that the physical eye cannot see. And those who operate in darkness can sense you from miles away. The reason why some people hate you without reason is because their demons recognized you before they did. You make their spiritual attachments nervous. You irritate their hidden sin. You disturb the peace they thought they had, because your mere presence confronts everything fake around them. There are people who don't even know you, yet they hate you. They don't even speak to you, yet they gossip about you. It's not personal, it's spiritual. Their spirits have collided with yours, and yours is connected to heaven. You are not here to blend in. You are here to shake atmospheres, shift destinies, and confront systems that have been built on lies and manipulation. That's why you were never meant to be popular or universally loved. That's why you were never meant to be easily accepted. Because heaven doesn't send gentle whispers into war zones. It sends warriors who carry a thunder they themselves don't fully understand yet. You've probably felt out of place your whole life, not realizing that God intentionally made your presence disruptive to darkness. You weren't made to walk quietly. You were made to shift the air. Your laugh brings healing. Your silence brings conviction. Your walk releases authority, and that's why they're afraid. It's not about your appearance. It's not about your background. It's not even about your words. It's about your spirit. Your presence reveals their lack. It exposes their wounds. It reminds them of what they tried to bury and what they can never fake. You bring truth into rooms full of illusions. And for people living a lie, that's terrifying. You've walked through life wondering why people react to you with fear, jealousy, or discomfort, even when you're kind, humble, or just minding your business. It doesn't make sense to you because you don't see yourself the way they see you. You think you're just surviving, just figuring life out. But they see something else. They see the light. A light you haven't fully recognized in yourself yet. A light that comes from every wound you've survived. A glow that comes from being broken and rebuilt by God Himself. They see something eternal resting on your life, and that terrifies them. You've been taught to downplay your worth, to shrink yourself, to stay quiet, to be polite, to not think too highly of yourself. But the truth is, People have been reacting to your divine essence for years. That unshakable peace you carry, that's intimidating to those ruled by chaos. That strength in your eyes, that's threatening to those who hide behind masks. That natural authority in your voice, that's unbearable to spirits used to dominating weak minds. You don't see it because you're used to fighting through pain and storms. You've been too busy surviving to realize that every battle was adding more glory, more power, more spiritual weight to your presence. They see the results before you do. That's why they stare. That's why they copy. That's why they try to break you, because they've already seen what you're becoming, even while you still doubt it. Your glow isn't normal. Your energy isn't common. Your spirit isn't weak. And even when you're tired, discouraged, or feeling unworthy, the enemy still trembles when you rise from your bed in the morning. Because he knows, once you wake up to who you truly are, once you stop doubting your anointing, once you start walking with boldness and authority, the entire spiritual system built against you will collapse. That's why they fight you so hard. That's why they attack your mind. That's why they try to isolate you. Because your light is already causing damage to their kingdom, and you haven't even gone full power yet. You think you're invisible, but in the spirit realm, you shine like a flame in total darkness. You think no one notices you, but people remember your energy long after you've left the room. You think you're small, but in the unseen world, you are already a giant. It's time to stop doubting the evidence. The reaction of others is the confirmation. They see it. Hell sees it. And soon, you will too. Before you ever spoke your first word, before you took your first step, before you even understood the world you were born into, you were already marked. Marked by God, set apart, chosen. And the world around you could sense it. The enemy could see it. From the moment you entered this earth, spiritual forces knew you carried something dangerous to their agenda. That's why your childhood was full of confusion, rejection, trauma, and isolation. It wasn't random. It wasn't bad luck. It was warfare. They were trying to stop the chosen one before you even awakened. You ever wonder why certain adults treated you like a threat, even when you were just a child? Why you were misunderstood by your own family? Why you were targeted by bullies, overlooked by teachers, or made to feel like you didn't belong? It's because your soul carried something ancient, something royal, something the spirit world could not ignore. You were born with a light that disrupted generational patterns, a presence that threatened ancestral strongholds, and those spiritual forces that had kept your bloodline in bondage knew that your arrival was the beginning of their eviction. So they came for you early. They tried to plant seeds of self-hatred, confusion, fear, and doubt before you ever had the chance to discover who you were. But here's the thing. Their attacks were actually confirmations. Because nobody wastes resources attacking someone who has no power. The warfare you experienced from the beginning wasn't proof of your weakness. It was proof of your calling. God marked you, and hell panicked. That's why the devil didn't wait until you were an adult to attack. He tried to destroy you through childhood trauma, through emotional neglect, through betrayal and loneliness. He tried to convince you that you were unwanted, broken, and cursed. But you weren't cursed. You were consecrated. You weren't forgotten. You were hidden. Hidden for a time such as this. And now, you're starting to awaken. You're starting to remember who you are. And it's shaking the kingdom of darkness. That mark on your spirit hasn't faded. If anything, it's glowing brighter than ever. People still don't know why they're drawn to you, or why they can't stand you. But it's the same reason. Your existence demands a reaction. Because chosen ones don't enter the world to entertain. They enter the world to confront, to shift, to liberate. And you've been doing that since before you even knew it. You've been through things that almost broke you. Pain so deep, nights so dark, betrayals so sharp that you wondered if God had forgotten you. You cried in silence, smiled in public, and carried burdens that no one even noticed. You kept asking yourself, why me? What did I do to deserve this? But what you didn't realize is that your pain wasn't a punishment. It was a setup, a divine setup to mold you, refine you, and shape you into the spiritual warrior you were destined to become. The enemy wanted you to believe you were cursed. But God was building something powerful in your wilderness. You were never being punished. You were being positioned. Every tear, every loss, every failure was allowed for a reason. Not because God wanted to see you suffer, but because He knew what was inside of you. He knew the strength He placed in you. And He also knew that without the crushing, without the isolation, without the fire, you would never tap into the full depth of your anointing. Pain activates purpose. Suffering awakens spirit. And the most dangerous version of a chosen one is the one who's been through hell and came out with their faith still intact. That's who you are becoming. Look back for a moment. Can you see the pattern? Every time you were rejected, it redirected you to something greater. Every door that closed led you closer to alignment. Every betrayal exposed what wasn't meant to go with you. The enemy thought those things would destroy you, but they became training. Boot camp for the spiritual battlefield. You didn't lose, you were being armed. Your heartbreak was a weapon being forged. Your loneliness was a shield being formed. Your scars? They are now proof that you're bulletproof in the spirit. And that's what terrifies them. Because you weren't just hurt, you were transformed. They see you now, still standing, still rising, still glowing. And they don't understand how. That's because they don't know the God who was with you in the fire. They thought your pain would make you bitter, but it made you powerful. They thought your silence meant defeat, but it meant you were listening to God, healing, rebuilding, becoming. And now that you're stepping into your true identity, your pain has become your platform, your story has become your sword, and everything that tried to bury you is now beneath your feet. You were never being punished. You were being prepared to walk in authority that would shake the earth. They talk. They lie. They slander your name. They whisper in circles, spreading rumors, mocking your movements, questioning your value. They shout because they want to be heard. But you remain silent. And that silence shakes them more than any argument ever could. Because when a chosen one stays quiet, it's not weakness, it's spiritual dominance. It's the kind of authority that doesn't need to prove anything. The kind that speaks even when no words are used. Your silence is not emptiness. It's a strategy, a weapon, a storm held back by divine restraint. In a world that feeds on attention and noise, your ability to be still confuses your enemies. They don't understand how you can walk away without clapping back. How you can be attacked and not retaliate. How you can be provoked and still choose peace. But here's the truth. You're not avoiding conflict because you're afraid. You're avoiding it because your power is too precious to waste on fools. You've learned that not every battle is worth your breath. Not every insult deserves a response. You've reached a level where you don't need to prove your worth to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Your silence has become your fortress. They wanted you to react. They wanted you to break. They wanted to pull you into their drama, their dysfunction, their chaos. But you stayed focused. You stayed grounded. And that terrifies them. Because they know that the real ones don't scream. They move in silence and let results speak. And that's what you've done. You've learned the art of spiritual discipline. You've mastered the power of walking with God quietly, while He prepares to elevate you publicly. The silence of a chosen one is not absence. It's the sound of God working behind the scenes. When a chosen one goes quiet, heaven listens. When you retreat, angels are dispatched. When you hold your tongue, God releases judgment. That's what they don't see. Your silence isn't passive. It's active. It's loaded. It's sacred. It's the breath before the breakthrough, the calm before the elevation, the stillness before the storm. And the enemy knows. A silent chosen one is a dangerous one. Because when you're quiet, it means you're watching, listening, waiting, praying, planning. And when you finally move, it will shake everything. Long before you discovered who you truly are, long before you understood your value, long before you embraced your calling, there were people, systems, spirits working overtime to crush you. Not because of what you had done, but because of what you were destined to do. You didn't even know your purpose yet, but they felt it. They saw the potential. They sensed the shift your life would create if you ever broke free. And so they launched their attacks early. They tried to destroy the chosen one before the chosen one could awaken. Because an awakened chosen one is unstoppable. That's why they came for your mind first. Confusion, depression, anxiety, rejection. They tried to plant lies in your spirit before truth could take root. They told you you were nothing, that you'd never make it, that you were too broken, too weak, too flawed. They tried to make you believe your pain disqualified you, when in reality, it was qualifying you. The abuse wasn't random. The betrayal wasn't accidental. The sabotage wasn't coincidence. It was a coordinated attack on your identity. Because once a chosen one becomes aware of who they are, they become a weapon that hell can no longer handle. They wanted you to give up. They wanted you to stay broken. They wanted you to drown in insecurity and fear. Because as long as you were asleep, you were safe. For them. But something inside you wouldn't die. Something kept rising, even when they laughed, even when they turned their backs, even when they cursed your name and shut doors in your face. You kept breathing. You kept standing. And even if you crawled, you kept moving. Because the seed of greatness that God planted in you refused to be buried. You were made to survive the storm and then become the storm. And now, the awakening has begun. You're starting to see through the lies. You're remembering your strength. You're reconnecting with the divine authority that's always been within you. And that terrifies them. Because they know it's too late to stop you now. You're awake. You're aware. You're activated. You're no longer seeking validation from broken people. You're no longer tolerating smallness. You're no longer begging to be seen. You see yourself now. And once a chosen one sees clearly, everything changes. The war intensifies, yes, but so does the power. And now, the same ones who tried to bury you will be forced to witness your rise. You've probably felt it for years. That sense that you don't quite fit in, no matter how hard you try. Conversations feel surface level. Social spaces feel draining. Relationships feel forced. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you're too sensitive. It's because you carry a frequency that this world cannot handle. Your energy is different. Your spirit doesn't vibrate at the level of chaos, gossip, and manipulation. You operate from a higher realm, and people who are trapped in darkness can't stand to be near that vibration. It shakes them. It reveals them. It convicts them. You walk into a room and people shift, not because you said anything, but because your very existence disrupts the spiritual equilibrium they've built for themselves. Your frequency confronts the lies they've been living. It doesn't matter how humble you are. Your spirit speaks before your mouth does. It doesn't matter how quiet you are. Your presence is louder than the noise around you. You carry peace, and that peace disturbs chaos. You carry truth, and that truth irritates deception. You carry purity, and that purity makes impurity uncomfortable. You are not like them. You were never meant to be. That's why they either cling to you or reject you. There is no in-between. Your frequency was designed by heaven. It carries the sound of deliverance, the vibration of purpose, the echo of divine authority. And when you show up, demons get nervous. Spirits react. People don't know why they feel tense around you. They just do. Some try to copy you, thinking it's your style or your charisma. But it's not what's outside. It's what's radiating from within. It's your alignment with God, your obedience, your purity, your fire. You don't speak the language of this broken system, and because of that, you sound like thunder in a silent room. You are a walking disruption to everything fake, controlled, and programmed. And here's the key. You can't turn it off. You can try to dim your light, tone down your energy, pretend you don't see what you see, but it won't work. Because your frequency is not optional, it's your assignment. You were designed to carry this vibration, not just to stand out, but to awaken others. Some will hate you for it. Some will run from it. Some will try to silence it. But the ones who are meant to rise with you will hear it, and they will find their way home because of the sound you release. That's why the world can't handle you. Because you were never built to blend. You were built to break patterns and build legacies. And your frequency is the alarm clock. You don't even realize how powerful you are. You think you're just getting started. You think you're still healing, still learning, still figuring things out. But from the outside, especially from the spiritual realm, you're already terrifying. Because even without stepping fully into your calling, even without activating your full potential, your life already carries weight. Your presence already shifts atmospheres. Your prayers already shake chains. Your silence already breaks cycles. And if you're this dangerous in your preparation season, imagine what will happen when God fully releases you into purpose. That's why they fear you now. Not because of what you've done, but because of what you're about to do. They can feel it. They sense the momentum building around you. They can see the fire growing in your eyes, the boldness rising in your walk, the clarity forming in your mind. They know your awakening is close. They know your next move could change everything. They've been watching from a distance, waiting for you to fall, hoping you'd quit, praying you'd stay broken. But you didn't. You kept rising, quietly, relentlessly. And now your anointing is about to spill over. And they're panicking because they realize they're running out of time. What they don't understand is that God hid you for a reason. He let you go unnoticed, uncelebrated, overlooked, because He was building something sacred in the shadows. He was developing an anointing that couldn't be bought, imitated, or explained. And when it's time to step forward, no demon in hell, No hater on earth, no system of man will be able to stop the move of God through your life. That's what they're afraid of. They're not afraid of your past, your flaws, or your story. They're afraid of your future. They're afraid of your voice. They're afraid of what will happen when you realize you've been walking with angels this whole time. Even now, you're still holding back. You're still playing small. You're still questioning yourself. And yet, your influence is growing. Your name is being spoken in rooms you've never entered. Your presence is being felt in places you've never walked. Because when God marks you, you don't need a platform to be effective. You don't need validation to be dangerous. The oil on your life is already working. And once you surrender fully to who God says you are, once you stop negotiating your identity to make others comfortable, your anointing will explode, and everything around you will be forced to bow. You've walked through fire and didn't burn. You've been through storms and didn't drown. You've faced enemies, betrayals, and breakdowns, but somehow you're still standing. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's divine protection. Because you are not just chosen, you are covered. Every step you take is surrounded by angels. Every battle you face has already been calculated in heaven. Every trap they set for you ends up turning against them. You were never alone, even in your darkest hour. Because chosen ones don't walk through life unguarded. They walk with the army of God surrounding their path. There's a reason you're still alive. There's a reason you made it out of situations that destroyed others. There's a reason why the things that were designed to break you only made you stronger. God placed a spiritual shield around you, not because you're perfect, but because you're dangerous to the enemy's kingdom. Your life carries too much purpose. Your voice carries too much power. Your future carries too much fire. You are not just a target. You are a threat. And that's why the enemy has tried so hard to take you out before your time. That's why the attacks have been relentless. Because your survival is a declaration of war. You don't realize how many weapons formed against you have already failed. You don't see how many curses were sent but couldn't land. You don't know how many people plotted your downfall in secret, only to watch you rise even higher. It's because divine protection is invisible but undeniable. The oil on your life rejects what was meant to destroy you. The call on your name repels what was meant to confuse you. The blood that covers you neutralizes every arrow shot in your direction. That's why you've been protected in places you didn't even know were dangerous. And now that you're becoming aware of who you are, that protection increases. Because revelation is power. You're not just surviving, you're entering a season where you will dominate. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You're no longer walking as a victim. You're walking as a chosen, protected, dangerous vessel of heaven. And they can feel it. Your enemies may not say it out loud, but they're intimidated. Your presence is louder than their gossip. Your favor is more powerful than their manipulation, and your destiny is more secure than their threats. You are chosen. You are covered. And to the kingdom of darkness, you are absolutely terrifying. Every time you push forward, every time you refuse to give up, every time you choose to stand when they expected you to fall, you become a nightmare to those who oppose you. Your rise isn't just personal growth. It's a spiritual threat. It's a disruption of the plans built to keep you small, silent, and submissive. They see your progress like a wildfire threatening to consume everything they've worked to control. Your breakthrough is a sign that their time is ending, and that terrifies them more than anything. The enemy watches your every move, desperate to find weakness, looking for cracks to exploit. But you're no longer the scared child they once targeted. You're a grown warrior, trained in the fire of life's battles, anointed with the oil of persistence, and armed with the armor of faith. Your rise is unstoppable because it's ordained. Every success you claim breaks chains, not just for you, but for those who come after you. Your victory sends shockwaves through the spiritual realm and forces the darkness to retreat. That's why your enemies fear you. They know your rise means their defeat. You may face setbacks. You may encounter opposition. You may feel pressure to quit. But every step forward is a blow to those who want to see you fail. They hate the sound of your footsteps getting louder because it signals that you're moving closer to your destiny. Their worst nightmare is not your failure, it's your success. Your rise exposes their lies. Your rise dismantles their schemes. Your rise shines a light in their darkest corners. And that is why they will do everything to stop you, but they will never succeed. Your destiny is to rise, not quietly, not slowly, but powerfully and intentionally. To disrupt systems, to challenge norms, to inspire generations. Your rise is a spiritual earthquake shaking the foundations of darkness. And no matter how much they try to bury you, delay you, or break you, the truth is this: your rise is inevitable. The world may not be ready, but heaven already declared it. And the more you embrace your calling, the louder your rise becomes. A sound they can't escape, and a reality they can't change. Your words carry weight far beyond what you realize. When you speak, you aren't just using your voice. You are activating divine power. Heaven leans in to listen. Angels stand ready to act, and chains begin to break. This is not a coincidence. It's the result of your connection with the Creator. Chosen ones don't just talk. They decree. They declare. They shift realities. And even when you doubt your own voice, the spiritual realm reacts because your words are backed by authority from above. Many people speak to fill silence or gain attention. But you? Your words are weapons. Every declaration you make is a seed planted in the unseen world, growing into miracles, breakthroughs, and divine shifts. You may have felt powerless at times, doubting if your voice mattered. But the truth is, your speech has already moved mountains. Your prayers have already turned tides. Your declarations have already altered destinies. You don't need to shout louder than others. You only need to speak from your place of authority, and that voice will shake heavens and earth alike. This power to influence isn't something you earned. It's a gift from God, a responsibility laid upon your shoulders. That's why the enemy fears your words so much, because they know a spoken command from a chosen one carries more force than any weapon they can throw. When you speak life, death flees. When you speak peace, storms calm. When you speak victory, chains break. And when you speak truth, lies crumble. Your voice is a direct line to heaven's throne room, and every time you use it with faith, the universe bends to your declaration. Remember this always. Your silence may be powerful, but your words are divine. They are the soundtrack of your legacy. Speak carefully, speak boldly, speak with faith. The heavens are always listening, and when you do, the world listens too. The enemy trembles, because when you speak, heaven responds. You carry a mission that goes beyond personal success or comfort. You were chosen to reveal the hidden, to expose the darkness lurking beneath polished surfaces, to shine light on the secrets they desperately try to bury. Those who walk in deception and darkness tremble at your presence because they know you will pull back the veil. They fear you because your purpose is to unmask lies, to dismantle false altars, and to bring truth into places built on hypocrisy. Many try to silence you. Many work in shadows to keep their secrets safe. But you have a fire inside you that refuses to be dimmed. You are a warrior of light sent to disrupt the unseen works of darkness. Your presence alone threatens the kingdoms built on manipulation, control, and fear. You don't need to confront them with swords or loud protests. Your very existence is a spotlight that makes their secrets crawl into the open. You are a disruptor of falsehood, a breaker of strongholds, a herald of revelation. The things they worship in secret, whether it's power, greed, lies, or corruption, are trembling because you carry a truth that will dismantle their foundations. You were placed here to bring justice to the hidden battles and to reclaim what's been stolen by darkness. Your calling is holy and dangerous. You are not here to play small or stay silent. You are here to stand boldly, to speak clearly, and to expose fearlessly. The world may not understand your mission. They may call you rebellious, a troublemaker, or a threat. But the truth is, you are fulfilling a divine purpose that shakes invisible kingdoms. And that's why they are afraid of you. Because you carry the power to break chains and reveal the truth no one else dares to speak. You were chosen for this fight, and you will not back down. Your life is not random. Every moment, every struggle, every victory has been written in the unseen before you even took your first breath. You are a living prophecy, a fulfillment of promises made long ago in the spiritual realm. The battles you face, the paths you walk, the storms you endure, they are all part of a divine script unfolding exactly as it should. You are not improvising. You are performing a destiny scripted by heaven itself. This realization can be overwhelming, but it also brings power. Understanding that you are a walking prophecy means you carry authority far beyond your years, your experience, and your understanding. The trials you endure are not mistakes or detours. They are markers on a path paved for greatness. Your story connects to ancient truths, divine plans, and heavenly purposes that no one else can fully comprehend yet. And as the prophecy unfolds through you, it shakes the foundations of the spiritual realm and disrupts the plans of darkness. The enemy knows this too. They see the pattern in your life, the signs of destiny activating, and they panic. That's why they continue to attack, to try to delay, to create obstacles. But they forget that prophecy cannot be stopped. It moves forward regardless of opposition, fueled by the power of God and the faith in your soul. You are proof that promises kept by heaven are unstoppable. You are living evidence that destiny will not be denied. So when you feel lost, discouraged, or overwhelmed, remember this. You are not just surviving. You are fulfilling a prophecy. Your existence is a message to the world that God's plans are active and unstoppable. Every step you take is a declaration of faith made real. You are a walking, breathing miracle designed to change history and inspire generations. And the fear others have of you is the fear of a destiny they cannot control. One of the greatest fears those around you have is that you refuse to be controlled. They can't put you in a box, manipulate your decisions, or dictate your path. Your independence is a threat to their systems of control. People who try to dominate and suppress others see you as a rebel, a disruptor, and someone who won't submit to their rules. That freedom you carry, whether you realize it or not, is terrifying to them because it exposes their weaknesses and limitations. From a spiritual perspective, this uncontrollability is a sign of your divine appointment. God did not create you to be a puppet. You were fashioned to be a leader, a trailblazer, and a voice of truth that cannot be silenced. Your spirit rebels against bondage, manipulation, and fear. You walk a path that requires courage, resilience, and unwavering faith. Qualities that make you unpredictable and unmanageable in the eyes of the enemy and those who serve them. They fear your refusal to conform because it threatens their power. They want to keep you distracted, dependent, and doubting yourself. They try to lure you into complacency or deception, but your spirit resists, and that resistance is your strength. It means you are walking in the truth of who you were created to be. It means you will not bow to pressure, nor will you trade your identity for acceptance. This uncontrollable nature is what sets you apart. It's what makes you a true chosen one. It's the reason why they fear your rise and your influence. Because no system, no lie, no enemy can dominate someone whose spirit is anchored in freedom. You are the storm they cannot predict, the fire they cannot extinguish, and the voice they cannot silence. And that is why your freedom terrifies them. Your journey is not just about personal growth or spiritual power. It's also a divine instrument for humbling the proud and exposing the arrogant. Many who oppose you do so because they see themselves as superior, untouchable, or entitled. They look down on you, dismiss your potential, and try to silence your voice. But God uses your life to remind the proud that true authority comes from Him alone. Your rise is a demonstration that no amount of human arrogance can withstand the power of a chosen one backed by heaven. You've seen it happen. Those who underestimated you have been humbled. Those who mocked your dreams have watched you succeed. Those who ignored your calling have felt the shift of your influence. God takes pleasure in lifting the lowly and bringing down the mighty, and your story is living proof of that principle in action. You were not meant to compete with the proud. You were meant to dismantle their pride through grace, perseverance, and divine favor. Every setback you faced was a lesson for them. Every victory you claimed was a reminder that God's power works through the humble. Your life is a message to the world that no one is beyond correction and no one is safe from the hand of God's justice. The proud may try to stop you, but in the end, they will bow. Not because you forced them, but because the truth you carry cannot be denied. This humbling is not about revenge, it's about revelation. It's about showing the world that God's ways are higher than human schemes. It's about demonstrating that the chosen ones will rise, not by their own strength, but by the power of a God who defends the oppressed and honors the faithful. And as your life unfolds, the proud will learn what it means to be humbled, and you will stand as a living testament to God's justice and mercy. Your destiny is not a mystery. It has been written long before you were born. Every detail, every challenge, every triumph has been inscribed in the heavenly scroll. You are part of a divine plan that transcends time and space. This truth should bring you peace, knowing that your life is not a series of random events, but a carefully orchestrated journey designed by God. However, knowing your destiny exists is not enough. You must choose to walk it. Choice is the power God gave you, the freedom to say yes or no to the path laid out before you. Many stumble because they refuse to believe in their own greatness, because they allow fear, doubt, or distractions to pull them off course. But the chosen ones understand that destiny requires action. It demands courage, persistence, and a willingness to face the unknown. You may not see the full picture now, but every step you take toward your purpose unlocks a new revelation, a new breakthrough, a new level of spiritual authority. You were given free will, but with it comes responsibility. To walk your destiny, you must release old fears, break limiting beliefs, and refuse to settle for less than what God intended. Your choices today shape the future you'll live tomorrow. It's a daily decision to embrace the calling, even when the road is hard, even when the world doubts you, even when your own heart feels weary. Remember, your destiny is secure in heaven's hands, but it is activated by your obedience. The plans made for you cannot be thwarted by opposition, but they can be delayed by hesitation. It's time to step into your role as a chosen one, not as a victim of circumstances, but as a victorious warrior who chooses daily to rise, to fight, and to fulfill what has been written. Your impact will outlive your presence. The battles you fight, the mountains you move, and the lives you touch will echo through generations. They will fear your legacy because it is not just about you. It's about the unstoppable force of change you've unleashed. The world may try to silence you now, but your story will be told long after you're gone, inspiring others to rise and continue the fight. Legacy is the mark of a true chosen one. It's the imprint of divine purpose left on the fabric of time. What you build today, whether it's faith, influence, or courage, will become the foundation for those who come after you. Your enemies may try to erase your name, but they cannot erase the seeds you've planted in hearts and souls. Your legacy will shake the earth and haunt the darkness for decades to come. They fear your legacy because it represents hope to the hopeless and power to the powerless. It reminds the proud that no human effort can stop what God has ordained. Your life is a beacon that cuts through generations of fear and oppression, lighting a path for those who dare to believe. And that light will shine even brighter when you're no longer here to carry it in person. So keep walking boldly, keep fighting fiercely, keep living with purpose, because your legacy is already in motion, and it will outlast every challenge, every enemy, every attempt to bury your truth. They fear you now, but they will fear your legacy forever. No matter how dark the night, no matter how fierce the battle, the chosen ones always win. It's not because they are flawless or invincible, but because they are backed by a power greater than any opposition. You have been appointed by heaven to rise above every trial, every attack, every doubt. Your victory was never optional. It was guaranteed. The world may try to break you, discourage you, and silence you, but you are destined to overcome. Winning doesn't always mean the absence of struggle. It means persistence through pain, faith in the unseen, and obedience when the path is unclear. Chosen ones endure because they understand that setbacks are setups for greater comebacks. They press forward when others quit. They stand firm when others fall. Their strength is in their spirit, and their confidence comes from the promises of God. You are not alone in your fight. Angels surround you. Heaven supports you. The power within you is unstoppable. Every time you face opposition, you are proving the enemy wrong. Every time you rise after a fall, you are showing the world that destiny cannot be denied. The chosen ones always win because their source of strength is eternal. So hold your head high, walk boldly, speak with authority. Your victory is assured. The battle is fierce, but the crown is yours. Remember, no matter what comes your way, the chosen ones always win. You are not here by accident. You are chosen. You are powerful. And the world is already afraid of the greatness within you, even if you don't see it yet. It's time to stop shrinking, stop doubting, and start owning your destiny. Stand up, speak out, and walk boldly into the life God prepared for you. The enemy fears your rise, but heaven is celebrating it. This is your moment. Don't let it pass. If this message spoke to your soul, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear the truth today. Remember, You are more terrifying than the devil. You are unstoppable. You are chosen. Stay strong, stay focused, and keep rising.